Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is May 6th, 2024. We'll call this meeting in order at 7:30 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGlawhorn?
Here.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Navas Barza? Here. Trustee Peretta is absent. Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You get a vote on everything.
Yes. So we'll start with officers' reports, starting with mine. This evening, we'd like to recognize the 55th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week. We've got a proclamation prepared, and it reads as follows. This proclamation, again, is being known as the 55th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, dated May 5th through the 11th of 2024, whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among the public servants, and whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies and agencies of the government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, whereas the professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk, and through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk. Now, therefore, I, Mayor John Ryan, Mayor of the Village of Alsip, do recognize the week of May 5th through the 11th of 2024 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Renee Harding, and all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Dated this 6th day of May, 2024. So,
Thank you, Mayor.
congratulations, Clerk Harding. And here, let me sign that too. I'm sitting there.
Here, I have this one. I think
Oh,
this
excellent.
might be
Okay,
the one
thank
that
you.
needs to be
Okay.
signed.
And certainly, thank you for your service to our
Thank
community,
you.
too. Okay. Next, actually, I did this at a recent meeting, but I had my report regarding the annual 2024 Illinois Municipal League's Lobby Day Conference. I had attended that conference April 17th and 18th, and it was a productive day and a half of meetings that we were at down there. Certainly the biggest conversation that we had on that Wednesday, the 17th morning, was you probably had 200 or 300 mayors at the Hoogland Center in Springfield that got a chance to have presentations or we met with the governor, Governor Pritzker, Representative McCombie, State President was Don Harmon, and Representative Tony DeLuca, who we saw later in the day as well, too. But the biggest topic I've talked about here a few times is the pending issue of an omnibus bill that's the governor's trying to promote to eliminate grocery tax in the state of Illinois. Governor told all the mayors he felt that the citizens deserved a break and shouldn't have to pay for grocery taxes. This is a 1% tax that's basically a pass-through at the state level that goes back to the municipalities. Again, just to reiterate what I've said in the past, that the Village of Alsip stands to lose approximately $670,000 annually should this be approved. I have reached out to our legislators, 2 of our state reps and 2 of our senators, and asked them to please not vote for this tax. Certainly not because I want to take anything from our residents or our taxpayers. They deserve the best that we can offer, but more importantly is Alsip residents didn't create that tax by themselves. I really believe, we've got at least 3 surrounding communities near Alsip that don't have grocery stores where those residents are shopping here. You've got 15 to 25% of the people that work here are shopping here, and they help create those taxes. And because of the popularity and location that we have here in Alsip, and to simply, right now, actually, we can't even reimpose those monies back on our residents at this time because there's not even a bill that allows for that. Certainly, there has to be one created. The governor said that we could reimpose it if we chose. At this time, I do not want to take any action on that, and I really hope that our legislators understand the importance of what's going to take place here. This was a big topic. Last week, I was at a Southwest Conference of Mayors meeting in Oak Lawn. We had about 15 mayors on the dais, and it's certainly a popular conversation. The other conversation that took place was the possible elimination of the crime-free housing bill. All the mayors agreed we need those tools to ensure the safety of our residents, both in typical communities where you've got residential rental homes within the community, and those are just as important as the rental apartments. And where you've got highly dense communities like apartment communities, you rely on the quality of the how should you say, basically the canvassing or qualifying of the residents that are going to move in next to you, and there's a lot of criteria that once it's going to be diminished if they take away or not even have anything what to do with the crime-free housing bill. So we're waiting to see what happens with that. And this is about it. It's just, the other topics right now, like I was on a legislative call today, and there's a couple of bills that are favorable, but at this time they're all in their second readings. But the big ones right now is the financially is the grocery tax bill that's going to take place right now then too. So I did have a chance to speak with many representatives who were down there, and the one meeting that we had, we got a chance to meet with a lot of the state reps who were former mayors, and across the aisle it was nice to see both Democratic and Republican state representatives that were willing to identify with what we were, because they were mayors at one time and now they're state reps. And we had at least 15 to 18 of those folks in the room. There was certainly room for more, and but the meeting started 2 hours late. It was a 4 o'clock committee meeting at the Capitol, and we were supposed to start at 4. It didn't start until 6 o'clock, so they lost a lot of the audience. I stayed, and actually the Village of Alsip was recognized by one of the state reps that I'm familiar with from Plainfield, Illinois, and he said, he appreciated us being in attendance to speak to these matters and stuff then too. So they had about 4 or 5 different mayors in attendance that represented different councils of government around. So you had somebody from Southborough Mayors and Managers, somebody from Southwest Conference of Mayors, Northwestern Conference, and certainly DuPage, McHenry, you name it, all gave testimony on why we didn't approve of that particular tax that might be taken from us, those revenues. So we'll see what happens. That vote might take place this month. They're supposed to be in session. Legislators are in their spring session until at least the 24th of this month, so we'll see what happens. So let's move on to the clerk's report. Clerk Harding.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the approval of the April 15th, 2024 board meeting minutes, the approval of the April 29th, 2024 committee meeting minutes, and a letter of recognition for the clerk's office, just to read aloud real fast. In celebration of the Professional Municipal Clerks Week, I would like to take a moment and recognize our hardworking and dedicated clerk's office. The clerk's office is comprised of our office manager, Erica O'Donnell, and deputy clerks, Brittany Granadin, Jasmine Perez, and Lauren Suzuki. Erica not only manages the clerk's office, she also manages the building and water departments and is always stepping up to help in any other departments that need it. Since I was elected into this position, Erica has gone above and beyond to assist me in any way she can and has learned every aspect of my position so that if I am not here, she is able to complete tasks that may be, that may need immediate attention. She is my right-hand woman, and I am thankful for her and everything she does for the village. Brittany, Jasmine, and Lauren are the faces and voices of Village Hall, the ones who the residents see as soon as they enter the building and the ones that the residents call. These ladies work hard every day to keep everything running smoothly and make sure residents are taken care of. I cannot even count the number of compliments I receive about them from residents. They handle so much on a daily basis, and they make it look effortless. Their customer service is top-notch. They treat residents with kindness and respect, and this office would not function without them. Thank you to Erica, Brittany, Jasmine, and Lauren for all that you do for everyone at the village. You all amaze me, and I am proud to work alongside you all. This week is not just about celebrating the village clerks. It is about celebrating the hard work of every person that works in the clerk's office, because without all of you, the village clerks could not do their job. So thank you. And that is all I had, Mayor.
Well said. Thank you.
Thank
Next, we have our attorney's report. I have Joe Kinker with us. Joe?
I have no report, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Engineer's report, Jeff Agan.
Thank you, Mayor. The 116th Place, 117th Street water main replacement, that'll be from Joelle Colon. Pre-construction meeting was held last month. The contractor Aries has stated that they are looking to start construction once school is completed, likely in early June. The Hazel Green Prairie Junior High Safe Routes to School Sidewalk Project, bids were opened at IDOT on the 26th of April, and Davis Concrete was the low bidder for that project. So we got to work through the state contract process and everything, and pre-construction meetings. So construction should probably start in a month and a half or so, depending upon contractor and IDOT scheduling. Costner Avenue resurfacing from 123rd to 127th Street. Iroquois Paving is planning to complete the paving work the end of this week, weather permitting. They have one last coat or layer of asphalt to put down, and then they'll be done with the paving, and then it will just be landscaping and striping would be the remaining work items there. The project likely would wrap up in probably 2 to 3 weeks by the time the subcontractors get in and finish everything. So.
Okay. Jeff, have we notified all the residents of the Safe Routes to School that we're going to be doing the fill-ins?
We have not yet. Once we get a little closer to a start date, I'll work with Mike, and we'll once we know when the start date will be, we'll
Davis hasn't given us a date yet?
No, right now everything's very early on with the whole IDOT process with awarding the contract.
Okay. I know I signed off on a lot of stuff last week, and I had to. Okay.
Correct, yep.
And then I saw they got the binder down on Costner. They just got to finish up the work over there, too?
Correct, yep. Just
Okay.
the surface course is left to go down on the pavement, and then just landscaping and striping and some of the restoration items.
You weren't here last week, but I liked our choices. I certainly agree with you for our MFT resurfacing project, the streets this year. Those are all good, and they all certainly need some attention and stuff yet, too. So, yeah, sounds great.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jeff. Public forum, did anyone wish to address the board tonight? Public forum? Nobody? Then we'll go on our standing committee reports. I'll start with Finance and IT, Trustee McGlohan.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated April 19th, 2024, totaling $539,513.91. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated May 3rd, 2024, totaling $539,591.03. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated May 6th of 2024 from the recap general fund, $511,309.25. Road and Bridge, $36,137.05. MFT, $12,021.66. Pulaski TIF, $200 even. Liability and workers' comp insurance, $158,627 even. Health insurance, $659.20. Water and sewer, $155,469.91. Sanitary sewers, $4,485.80. Heritage complexes, $56,842 even. Retiree health insurance, $106,705.46, for a grand total all funds of $1,042,457.33. And then next I have a request for approval of a PTAB, Property Tax Appeals Board decision to agree to an adjustment for the property located at 4152 West 123rd Street that translates from a fair market value of $2,405,564 being assessed at $601,341 to an agreed fair market value of $2,125,000 being assessed at a rate of $531,250. And that's all I have this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. I was looking at the paperwork a little closer when I was putting this on. That's a pretty good-sized building. I was certainly looking at the numbers, but that steel company is almost 96,000 square feet in building itself, too. So that's a pretty good-sized building
Yep.
up there. All right, thank you. Next, we have the Fire Report Committee.
No report.
No report. Thank you. Police and Traffic Safety, Trustee Dalzell.
Nothing for this evening's meeting, but Chief, prior to this meeting, had given a presentation for the FUSIS program, and they really did a nice job. Congratulations, Chief.
I'm really sorry I missed that. Got stuck at work.
It's certainly a great, Chief. Everything's been going really well, and you've shared some of the situations that we've looked at, and it's just a great piece of equipment to have. And I know we've got a presentation coming up, right? Like at the hotel, at the DoubleTree pretty soon.
Yes, I believe it's next Tuesday at the DoubleTree. We're having another presentation for the businesses who are interested in maybe getting on board.
So it's more of an open house, because I know it's like 9 to noon, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I know the Chamber of Commerce was handling emails and invites and stuff like that. So.
Sure. No, I'll be there for sure. Thanks. Next, we have the Public Work and Boat Launch Committee.
I'll take that one, Mayor. First, I request for approval to hire 6 temporary full-time employees in the Public Works Department for summer labor at a rate of $15 an hour for a total of 14 weeks. And then next, the Village Boat Launch, a.k.a. House Landing, opened on April 1st, and the first month's receipts totaled $2,413 in boat launch fees. And this does not include the new QR code app that can be used for paying to park, as we don't have that statement yet. And that's all I have under Public Works at this time.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll go to the Sewer and Water Report. Trustee Navas Barca.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request for the approval to supply water to a drinking fountain at the Alsip skate park. Current practice is to supply water at all public drinking fountains owned by the Park District at no charge. Next, I have the request for the approval to hire 4 temporary full-time employees in the Water Department for summer labor at $15 per hour for 14 weeks. Next, I have a request for the approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 20, Water and Sewers, Article 3, Rates and Charges, Section 20-43, Water Rates Generally, Times for Billing of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. And last, I have a request for the approval of the April 2024 Water Department Monthly Activity Report. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to the Building and Health Report Committee.
Trustee Dalzell or McGlawhorn?
No, come on. All right, I just figured since I was taking everybody else's over here.
Okay. The approval for the Village Sportsman's Club, cooperation with the American Knights Motorcycle Club of Illinois, to hold a fundraiser on June 8th, 2024, between the hours of 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. Proceeds will be donated to the Chicago Police Department's Memorial Foundation. Approval to hire 3 temporary full-time employees for the building department, summer labor at $15 an hour for 14 weeks. The approval of the April 2024 building department activity report, and finally, the approval of the April 2024 health department activity report. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have the Human Resource and Insurance Report Committee.
There's
nobody here.
absolutely nobody here from that committee, but
Sorry, they had no
I got
report.
nothing to
report.
report as well.
Okay, understood. Next, we have the special committee reports, starting with Economic Development. Trustee Nava-Esparza.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick summary regarding the Alsip bike and pedestrian plan. There was a meeting that was held. Just some key items that were discussed included the steering committee. They're going to move forward. Epstein will move forward and extend invites for the steering committee so we can have our first formal meeting. Public engagement, a survey was developed, and then will be distributed probably shortly before Memorial Day weekend. The survey will be available online in English and in Spanish. Epstein also has available 20 trail signs in English and 12 in Spanish, and also additional marketing materials in English and Spanish that will be dropped off to the village. So that way, I offered to stop by some local businesses to ask if they can display some of the flyers. So there will be a QR code on the flyers and also the trail signage. That way, people that are actively, out and about can scan it with their phones and take the survey, hopefully, via their mobile device. Participation, we ask the community to, participate. This is their chance to have input. And also, if they don't want to participate via the survey, there will be walking tours that will be in the month of June, covering the east and west side of Alsip. So more information to come. I think I covered a bulk of what was discussed.
Exactly.
And then June 4th, thank you. And then June 5th, was it June 15th? Was the second? I don't want to misspeak, but I know June 4th was the date that for the first one.
Right, yeah, that one I know for sure.
Yes, correct. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Jeff, thanks for participating all the time with all those calls as well, too. We appreciate your input in these matters all the time, and again, this really means a lot to us. That I've been trying to pursue this for a few years now, that we could put a plan together so that we can address some areas that really, we're in 2024. Why do we still lack basic sidewalks or, safe passage? That's crazy that hasn't happened yet, and hopefully we get to the goal with this. We'll see what happens. Next, we have the ordinance. I'm sorry, I apologize. Village properties, Trustee McGlohorn.
thank you, Mayor. First on the agenda is a request for consensus in terms of does the village board wish to exercise its option to renew the contract with HRE Property Management for 1 year to manage the village-owned heritage apartment complexes. I don't know if we want to hold off on this one.
I do. I'd like to get a couple more trustees in the room.
I was thinking. So I'd like to table this until,
At least the next committee. We'll go from there.
okay. Next, I have a request for approval to hire 2 temporary full-time employees at Heritage One for summer labor at a rate of $15 per hour for 14 weeks. And then we have the exact same request to hire 2 for Heritage Two and also then 2 for the Village Hall. And that's all I have under village properties this evening.
If I may ask, in regards to item number 1, have we asked HRE to provide us with like a report, just as to like some key milestones that they've accomplished, or in regards to our vacancy rate and so forth like that?
Well, they send the monthly report that's always in the board packages.
But would they be able to come and, to the board formally, and if we had any questions? I guess that's what I'm asking.
And would be more than...
Oh, he'd be more than willing, and he's already presented that to me as well, too. Right now, we're just finding out whether or not, and we'll speak to it next week. Actually, I'll ask Ken to come out, but he gave me a full overview of accomplishments for the last couple of years and stuff yet, too.
Can we get an approximate accounting of what this is valued at?
Oh, sure.
It would be nice to
Okay.
That'll come out of the finance department.
just like to have that.
Very good. Okay. Next, we have the Ordinance and Legislation Committee.
No report.
Okay. And we'll go to Planning and Zoning and Licenses Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a presentation to list the licenses dated April 8th of 2024 through April 26th of 2024. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Do anybody have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share? Please keep in mind this weekend, we've got quite a bit going on. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the village is having our village-wide garage sale. You do not need a permit to have a garage sale this weekend from 8 in the morning till 5 at night. My assistant Becky Smith is conducting a flower sale here at the Village Hall. That's going to take place Friday and Saturday. I'm sorry I don't have our hours here, but they're business hours on Friday, so it'll be like...
It was 9 to 12,
She's just doing it
or
in the morning?
10 to 12 on Saturday.
Oh, 10 to
On
12.
Saturday, yeah.
10 to 12 on Saturday, but I believe on Friday, it's all day
Yeah.
that we're here. And then also Saturday is our village-wide cleanup day. I appreciate the volunteers come out. I was out spotting garbage today. I can't believe, where is the garbage? You know, I mean, I'm watching, sure enough, I had these really good conversations with IDOT, and I've established really a great rapport with the new yard boss that's over in Alsip. They have a contractor out now, and I saw him the other day, and he did it again today. They were on the Pulaski Bridge with street sweepers, and they had guys out picking up all the garbage and stuff, so we don't need as many volunteers as I thought, but no, the place looks pretty darn good. I hit all your typical areas, and there's not that much garbage out there. There's a few pieces here and there, but, and I saw one area that if we get some athletic type of people, you know, it was kind of nice if you saw over where you go to the boat launch when you make the turn on Laramie Street. They cleaned out that whole ravine area. It kind of collected a little bit of garbage in there, and if we pick that up, the place looks like $1 million then, too. It looks really nice. There's no garbage on Plattner Drive either, going back to the boat launch. I was back there today.
But I know Griffith Foods, and I'm not sure how many other businesses in the area, did some major cleaning up for Earth Day.
Okay.
They were doing, I know, along Central and 122nd, and businesses in that area celebrating Earth Day.
Becky, you got a good response, but I think the great news, it might not take as long as we think to get the work done and stuff. So thank you to all the volunteers in advance for helping out. Did anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda? Then can I get a motion to establish the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGlaughlin?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Navas Barza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta is absent. Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Motion
Can I
to
get a
approve.
motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Motion.
Second.
Item J, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 20, Water and Sewers, Article 3, Rates and Charges, Section 20-43, Water Rates Generally, Times for Billing of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip will now be known as Ordinance 2024-05-1. Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGlaughlin?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Navas Barza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta is absent. Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Thank you very much. Did anybody have any unfinished business they want to discuss?
It's not necessarily unfinished business. Mayor, I just thought it'd be a good idea to make it clear that water ordinance that we just passed is strictly passing through the water rate increase that came from the city of Chicago.
Agreed. It's the same amount that was given to us, it needs to be passed along to the
Right.
consumer.
There's nothing else included in that. It's just
No, there's no increases, other than
no,
the
nothing,
match.
no increases from us. It's
Right.
just the city of Chicago
Exactly.
increased the rates overall.
All right, thank you. Any new business that anybody want to discuss? We need to adjourn to a short closed session. I need to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity, pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2, Chapter 1. Can I get a motion and a second to do
Are we
that?
actually adjourning to closed session, or are
Yes.
we coming back? Okay, motion to adjourn to closed session.
Right.
That's a motion.
Second.
Roll call number 3 to adjourn to closed session. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGawhorn?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Navas Garza?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta is absent. Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn to closed session.
Thank you very much. We're going to adjourn. The time now is 8:01 p.m., and thank you for being with us this evening.